Book Dragons, it's me, it's Alyssa here, filming for the first time in months. I don't want to make it a habit of filming a few videos and then ghosting y'all for a few months. It just, a lot has happened this year. We bought a house, so this is kind of the new background while I'm getting the library set up. The library has a really loud echo right now because I only have like 3 bookshelves in there and that's it, and a couple boxes. Not to excuse anything, it's just taken a long time to settle in. I am back though. I've been reading a lot. That's not what you're here for. That's gonna be a different video. My cats, as usual, are wrestling. Now they have a lot more room to do it, running up and down the stairs, so you're gonna hear them flouncing about. Oh my gosh, what are they doing? This month is Believathon. It is a readathon created by Gavin over at How to Train Your Gavin, and it is specifically for reading middle grade books. I will leave a link to Gavin's announcement video down below so you can go and check it all out. And there are cards that you can print out to kind of go with the prompts. My printer didn't have ink, so I just had to kind of use a random number generator, and so it's kind of all on my phone. I'm not cool like the other people that are pulling the cards out for their TBR video. Now, as someone who tends to read a lot of just fantasy in general, most people wouldn't expect me to love middle grade as much as I do, but middle grade is actually my favorite genre or favorite age group to read. I absolutely love middle grade books. They are whimsical and magical, and there's just something so warm and cozy even about the like darker ones. It just makes you feel good inside. Like it's very nostalgic for me to read middle grade books, and I think everyone else. So this is my November TBR. It's not just specifically for Believathon. So I'm just gonna dive right in because I think I've been blathering on for a few minutes, and I'm probably gonna edit most of that out for your sake and mine. On our commute, Megan and I listen to audiobooks. We are currently listening to The Ravens by Cass Morgan and Danielle Page. This book is about a sorority that is actually a coven of witches. It follows 2 points of view. Scarlet, who has been raised knowing she's a witch, she's a legacy, and she really wants to be president of this sorority in the future, and she's already been a part. I think she's a junior. And then Viv or Vivian or Vivi, I can't remember what her nickname is, but she was raised not knowing anything about magic or not believing in it, and decided that she was gonna try out for this sorority. There's a dark history. Something happened and one of the characters is being haunted. I'm only at the beginning, like within the first probably 150 pages, so I don't know a lot about what's going on, probably the first 100 pages, to be honest. I heard that it kind of has the feel of like Coven's American Horror Story Coven season. I don't know, I don't watch that show, so I don't know what season that is. And like the first season of Scream Queens. I haven't watched either, but it was something that I think Megan would like, and listening to it for me on a commute was a little bit different than just sitting and reading it. So I'm not scared so far. We'll see. I feel like I don't think it's gonna be like super scary, but it definitely has spooky vibes. I will keep you posted and let you know what I think about that. The rest of the month I have dedicated to reading middle grades. I actually set aside 8, which is a little bit scary and daunting for me, since with reading or listening to an audiobook probably once every week and a half, I'm only hitting about 8 or 9 books a month in the last couple months. So challenge accepted. I took screenshots of the prompts that I got from the random number generator. So the first prompt that I received was number 17, read outside your favorite genre, step away from what you know. It's not so bad when you change the status quo. Read something that is outside your favorite genre. For example, if your favorite is fantasy, read anything that isn't fantasy for this. Well, my favorite's fantasy. It's kind of all that I read. The only middle grade that I have on my shelf as of right now that isn't fantasy is Murder Most Unladylike by Robin Stevens. This is a middle grade mystery story. I don't, despite the fact that this last month I read kind of mysterious books. I don't really read a lot of mysteries. I did as a kid, but not anymore because they're too, I'm not really into thrillers or mysteries. So I don't know anything about it, and I got this like special edition of it, so it doesn't tell me anything on the back. It just says there's been a rather shocking murder at Deep Dean School for Girls. I know that there's a whole series, and I would love to read the series. I'm so out of practice right now. I don't even know what to say. Moving on. The next prompt I got was 24. Read a 5-star prediction. A book type you have that is so appealing. Follow the hype and trust your gut feeling. For this, I picked up A Pinch of Magic by Michelle Harrison. I actually read the first 20 pages a few months ago, and then I wanted to save this for, I wanted to do a month of reading just middle grades. So I wanted to save it because within just that first 20 pages, I loved every second of it. All I know is that this is a series that follows 3 sisters. I don't know if if it's just this specific story, but they're cursed and they have these magical objects that they have to either unlock or find, or who knows, to help end this family curse. It was just so magical. Again, the 20 pages I read, 20 pages, so magical that I feel like I am going to absolutely love this. But 5-star prediction, let's hope, because none of my 5-star predictions ever are 5 stars. Prompt number 30 was read a cover by. So better than a lifelong lover when you buy a book with a beautiful cover. Read a book you bought solely because you loved the cover of it. They say we shouldn't, but let's judge a book by its cover, shall we? I always judge books by their cover. She would stop the second I try to film her. I don't know where I was at. I just got to read a cover by. So the whole series for me was a cover by. I literally, anyone surprised, I know absolutely nothing about any of the books on this TBR. And that's the same for The Wizards of Once by Cressida Cowell. This is the author of How to Train Your Dragon. Books 3 and 4 were on Waterstones and they had beautiful sprayed edges. So I just bought the whole series. I have a problem. I know it has something to do with magic. Cover by. I'm very excited for this next prompt. I got 29, a book that was adapted. Haven't I seen you before? You look rather familiar. How alike we both sound. It's like looking in a mirror. Read a book that has been adapted into a movie, TV show, play, etc. And for this, I have been wanting to read this book since it came out. I feel like there was a few years there where this book was everywhere, and that is The Mysterious Benedict Society by Trenton Lee Stewart. This was adapted into a TV show for Disney Plus. I have avoided that like the plague because I don't, any surprise to anyone, I literally don't know anything about this. I don't know any spoilers. I don't want to know. I want to go into this completely blind. The little bit that I do know is that they test kids to kind of see where they fit it, like if they would work out being a member of this secret society. That's it. That's all I know, and that's probably inaccurate because I'm me and that's just how I am. So if you came to this TBR video thinking you were going to get in-depth explanations of books and what they're about, I am not your girl. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I got prompt number 8, which is to continue a series. Do not forget of your current obligations when the series is over. You can, I can't read. Do not forget of your current obligations. When the series is over, you can start celebrations. Continue a series you're already in the middle of reading. I figured that this wouldn't be a Believathon without continuing reading the Frostheart series. This is Gavin's like favorite middle grade series of all time. So this is book 2 in that series. It's been a while since I read the first book. I read it at the beginning of this year. So this story follows Ash, who has a singing power. He's a song weaver, which involves singing. Singing is banned where he's from. He lives in a stronghold. I think it's called Fyra, the Fyra stronghold. It is basically the middle of a tundra surrounded by snow and ice. He has been passed around the village. His parents disappeared when he was younger and the village raised him. He has kept this power secret because song weavers are bad. So like no one's allowed to sing. One day his power is discovered and he is basically kicked out of his stronghold along with his Yeti guardian. I said that, Yeti guardian. And then has to make a way for himself aboard the Frostheart, which is a ship that traveled to their stronghold. It is a beautiful story. The found family in this is real. It's just, the friendships are wonderful. The magic is wonderful. I think I gave it 4 or 4.5 stars. I loved it. And so I'm really excited to continue on with this series. The 3rd book just came out and I do have that one. Number 10 is to read a book released in 2021. A recent spell has gone awry, a newfound knowledge you must rely. Read any book that was released in the year 2021. For that, I am reading Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston. I've heard nothing but good things about this book. This book follows Amari and her brother has disappeared and then she gets invited to join, what is it called? The Bureau of Supernatural Affairs. And I've heard this posed as almost like Men in Black-esque. And so I'm very excited to read this. This came out in January. The next book comes out like January or February of next year. So I just really want to dive into this. Number 28, read your most recent purchase. We welcome you home. We welcome you happily. The newest addition to the bookish family. Read the last book you bought. The last book that I purchased was The Castle of Tangled Magic by Sophie Anderson. I read The House with Chicken Legs, not with the chicken legs. The House with Chicken Legs by Sophie Anderson and I enjoyed it. And honestly, this cover was everything to me. I clearly have something about these covers like that are kind of designed like this speaks to my cold dead heart. I don't know the main character's name, but she essentially like ends up in this magical world where she makes friends and a newfound family, and this world is being like basically held captive by an evil wizard, and it's up to I was gonna say Sophie. And it's up to her potentially to save the day. I like Sophie Anderson's writing and I stand by this purchase. And the last and final prompt that I got was number 12. Read a book with creature in the title. Before you, a dragon that snaps at the pyre. There's only one way to avoid the hot fire. Read any book with a creature in the title. It can be a fictional creature or a real life animal. I was debating if I wanted to read Malamander or not. I think I'm gonna save that. So I'm actually going to read The Polar Bear Explorers Club by Alex Bell. Stella is the main character. She wants to join this explorers club and go on an adventure. So she does that. And she joins as a junior explorer. I know that there's probably a lot more that happens. Everyone I know that has read this book just does nothing but sing its praises. So I had to pick it up. So that's it for what I am planning on reading this month. I have no idea what my commute books are gonna be. I have a feeling that I'm going to convince Megs to listen to the Dresden Files. So I feel like it's an ambitious TBR because of the sheer number of books that I plan on reading, but they're middle grade, so I do tend to read through them faster. Let me know if any of these books sound good to you. If you want to buddy read any of them this month, I am so down for buddy reads. I haven't done one in so long, and I would absolutely love to. Or if you've read any of these books, please let me know what you thought, or just what you're reading in November as well. Please wear your masks. Don't be rude to people in their workplace if they're asking you to wear a mask in the building. Don't be that person. Be nice to yourself, and please, please, please be kind to others. Bye!